Greetings, citizens of Columbus, Ohio. We are anonymous. Our world is plagued and beleaguered by enough atrocities. We are all striving for a better world, not more for our benefit but for future generations to come. In the face of all they will have to fight, the last thing they need is a deviant scumbag robbing what little childhood can be attained in this world. To the perpetrators of horrors, to those who pursue this filth, to those who use our backyard as a hunting ground for your perversions, you will be surprised how easily the hunter can become the hunted. You will know how the prey feels. We will show no mercy on you. Everyone in the Columbus area will know who you are. These are not threats because Anonymous does not believe in threats. These are warnings. This endeavor has no end. As with ISIS, you will be treated like a virus and we are the cure. There is no place on the internet you can hide. Anonymous stretches worldwide and your behavior will be brought to our attention. We are Anonymous. We are Legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.
Both tell you what. Life can be hard, but you just gotta push through.
Sometimes just let it go. Plant seeds in your mind, water it with rhymes and let it grow. Attack with actions, words only worth half, and that's the exact fraction. Life's more massive than anyone's ask, but actors act like it's only their path until they're blasted. Lessons are experience reflected through your lenses. Perception bends presence, connections, and attention causes tension. Respect connects unless it gets no reflection. Who's the boss, but who's on top? Gets tossed off, the logic is crossed, twisted. Significantly, people can't see the cause. Consider the visions of gods, divinity, the Trinity, and consider other religions. Even heathenistic decisions that offer different visions. Educate, levitate, to calculate the odds. Condition your position before you get lost. It's the SNS crew, Democrats be the squad.
S to the K, H, Y to the J, E, D, I. Cause we stay high so fine, you know it. Cause I'm a poet glowing like the sun, so bright a show I'm flowing like the night is done. Patrolling, taking control of the lyrical soul. Speaking vocal frequencies, spoken like my spit was sonar. Beheading like a ninja, revving in just like a snowball. My baby cast a goal when she inspired us to go far. I don't do it for the dubs, I do it for the love. And I don't do it for the clubs, shape-shifting fake plugs. I'm just playing what you hand me. You can turn the other way and fall back on that plan B. That's all fine and dandy, we the SNS crew. We wickedly spitting written encryptions for submission that we can see through. So while you switching your positions and giving up on your condition, Joe, we can see you. I'm a suburban hip-hop caper, rip your tip top like it's paper. Take your mixtape and I rape her, so stop waiting, play a hater. What you gon' do? I'm sick of this child's play. All this shit is complaining, straining on my vocal cords like I broke the open door. Burning bridges to the core, cord and visions, my report. My incisions make it sore, then we pass it off and we explore.
Tune into the movement to view the conclusion. SNS crew improvement, congruent with the coolest, no fooling. Leave your medulla oblongata drooling, feeling foolish like a broken tool, you can't use it. Screw loose, no moving, drilling it out, Dremel useless. Smooth away the pain and bruises with Bruce from rulers. Teachers and students, lawyers and movers, construction workers and jewelers do what we need to do for the moolah. To use our computers, television, cell phones, and to fuel us. Funerals concluded, included with tulips. The cost of life really can't be computed from loot, but ladders and hoops, compounding fractals and loops, created to sedate us, separate us from the natural. It's a plan devised tactical. We need to break and cut loose from this noose, it's not practical.
Man, that makes me want to slap a hoe.
But I won't let you. I may be under pressure, but I'm more like a professor giving lectures. Always learning. Some people build bridges and some people start burning. Start learning and turn it around and change your life. Cause maybe you will end up having only strife and pain. It's not the same as it used to be. Some people try to take the game away from you ruthlessly. It's not the same, it's strange, and it maintains on a different plane. Man, it just fucks with my brain.
Twisted, subliminal, paranormal, mortal phrases. Uplifted, formally courteous, I'm enormously racist. Vicious, the gifted one, malicious. With a flip of the tongue, test the S to the S to meet the hit with a stick of a bitch, just run.
Less than a minute.
This should matter to the general public because, again, ours is not a government of one. It was with good reason that the Founding Fathers put in the Senate the power to reject presidential nominations.
And why does he say that? Because the United States Supreme Court justices determined in a 9-0 decision that President Obama violated the Constitution when he made recess appointments and the Senate was not in recess, whereas why the decision should be important to all Americans. And that is United States Senator Mr. Mike Lee.
Yeah, I like how it gets under your skin. But this is the takeover, sketchy Jedi style. I'm here to take it over like my mode was Kane Cobra. Style so flexible that you can call me yoga. Motorboat and Shit's Creek, and y'all are just some floaters. But when I'm on the speed, I rock and roll it like a boulder. Popping off my dome like a chrome pistola. Cutting suckers down to the ground like I'm a mower. White range, white rims, call it my moon rover. Looking like some snow, no, I don't need to be colder. Straight up trapping, I'm the keeper like a folder. Don't like the dark side of things, more like Yoda. Try to keep it forceful when I'm the mic holder. And as for your girl, it's true, I bought soda. My ball and my word, I don't need to be bolder. And if I hit some static, brush it off my cold shoulder. Still a youngin' in this game, just wait till I get older. I will be the chief and y'all will be my lowers. Dual shock you out the frame like the game was my controller. Taking out your cane, strike it down like I'm a bowler. Brighten up this gothic genre, refer to me as solar. And if there ain't enough room, it's about to get fuller. Push out the weakest links and exclude the dollar. No, I'm not against it, but I'm not your blood donor. Bullet is my metaphor, shot to clear my cola. But white means surrender, so yellow's my allure. And if you like to hack it, to hang next to the store, I guess that I'll just stack it and create my ass a store. I got enough lyrics here to build my ass a four. The first verse to take over, so what can you afford? Call me the bunny, cause I love the hip hop. Call me chubby chaser, cause I love the big spot. Call me sunburn, because I'm so hot. But don't let me catch you calling me something that I'm not. Call me the bunny, cause I love the hip hop. Call me chubby chaser, cause I love the big spot. Call me sunburn, because I'm so hot. But don't let me catch you calling me something that I'm not. Plain and simple, taking the game, I'm nimble. And it's hard to stay sane when your brain's a thimble. The rumble and the bubble in your veins just cripple. A pimpling through the door, you stay in the window. Oh no, yes, it's the same innuendo. I'm the next gen, you the same Nintendo. I quit puffing on the Indo and still I'm staying in though. Inspiration shift to win, yo. I keep it crisp, I've been cold. Alpha dog, been sold but never sold out. Like pretend gold, a diamond in the rough, so hold out.
I rip raps
subliminal on track.
Divisional and critical like major label contracts. It's a fable if you think you able to be placed next to my contacts. Restricted table and I will prevent you from having the credentials to come back. Not even presidential, just sipping from my rum rack. Existential love lack will be the story of your life. Next to the stencil of your career on a 30-second dub track with a knife. Now that's a stab hit, so take a stab at it if you think that you the shit, bitch. Call me the bunny cause I love the hip hop. Call me Chubby Chaser cause I love the big spot. Call me sunburn because I'm so hot. But don't let me catch you calling me something that I'm not. Call me the bunny cause I love the hip hop. Call me Chubby Chaser cause I love the big spot. Call me sunburn because I'm so hot. But don't let me catch you calling me something that I'm not. Verbal weaponry, it better be a shot to the head at least. Steadily gripping equipment and hitting with the melody. A felony, demeanor, misdemeanors, embellishing. Decorative cockiness of the thoughts that I am relishing. Theoretically, Beretta's locked and loaded to the drop deep like I'm embezzling. Alphabetically, ready to be ready for critical distance to your misses like I am medically, genetically engineered to be an engine feared by all of you pathetically. Upsettingly, the best that ever done it, I run it exceptionally. Accepted by every city, dizzy by the circles I'm rhyming authentically. A prodigy, I'm meant to be the illest vanilla cracker stacked up, so how you like the cookie looking? You're bound to get hurt inevitably. I'm bound to crack a smirk in my head at least. But I'll keep the composure to run you over and over. The treads of defeat, upset, I'm decreased. So what's beef? Beef is when you can't even speak, cause you can't even think after attacks from the shrink. Ha! Call me the bunny cause I love the hip hop. Call me Chubby Chaser cause I love the big spot. Call me
you guys ready?
Because I'm so hot. But don't let me get you calling me something that I'm not. Call me the bunny cause I love the hip hop. Call me Chubby Chaser cause I love the big spot. Call me sunburn because I'm so hot. But don't let me catch you calling me something that I'm not. Call me the bunny cause I love the hip hop. Call me Chubby Chaser cause I love the big spot.
Sorry about that. I turned the volume up.
Don't let me catch you calling me something that I'm not.
Thank you, S&S crew. Appreciate those guys. I got another song I'm going to play for gamers. If you're into video games, you're going to like the next song that I play by S&S crew. Now, we're going to cover a number of things. For the first half of the show, we're going to talk about what people that have been influenced by or are part of Anonymous are doing, what they've accomplished, things like that. Because it does me no good to talk about Anonymous if I don't tell you some of the current activities, some of the things that are done by people who don the Anonymous mask and understand the movement. This is one example. Our good friend in Pennsylvania has taken it really upon himself to wake up his community concerning the district attorney, Stacey Parks Miller, whose number is right here. Now, it's interesting. This is her cell phone, okay, with a 800 number. But let's check out this report. Now, mind you, again, the gentleman that's done all this work in Pennsylvania is a member of Anonymous, and he's influenced by Anonymous, and he's also militia, and he's also sovereign, and he's, you know, he works with everybody, you know, and he understands the intrinsic value of every single group and the outward values. And this is one part of what we're going to look at for the first half hour today. And then we're going to get into revolutionary tactics, and we're going to go beyond some of the novice stuff that we had discussed last time. We're going to get into a little bit more what we saw in Baltimore and things like that, better organization. So let's check out the corrupt Stacey Parks Miller out in Bellefonte, Pennsylvania, whose cell phone number is 814-777-2623. Here you go.
Well, folks, the good news is the Center County District Attorney and myself have had a little chat. Let's put her on the screen here so we can all say hello. Hello, District Attorney. Anyway, you can read our little chat on email. It's on our website. If you're watching this on YouTube, go to our website and read the email chat. You see, what happened is I've been told off. Pennsylvanians for Union Reform got told off. Why? If you contact the elected public servant known as Stacey Parks Miller, she will say you're spamming me. And there are rules about it. This is what we got told. There are rules. Elected officials don't want to hear feedback about their oppressive bullying activity, or, according to Ms. Parks Miller, there are rules that can be imposed. Federal government officials will come in and say, you naughty citizens, how dare you get in touch with your elected officials and criticize them. You're not allowed to do that. Hello, Stacey. Nice to meet you, by the way. Very, very interesting what you're doing. Anyway, listen, the reason that Stacey got a little upset is because, oh yes, we talked about her right to know lawsuit. You know, the one where she sued these citizens in Centre County and these organizations that got public records under the right to know law from the county. She sued them. Now we thought, well, that's not very nice, because if she can sue them, she could sue you, anyone. I mean, no citizen should be at risk of a lawsuit just because their government sends them records under the right to know law. So Stacey's been doing this, and we decided to get involved, so we filed a request. And along the way, we've come to know Stacey Parks Miller's legal team. So what we've decided to do is go on location and talk about what her lawyers have been doing. Let's put them on the screen. There they are. As you can see, we've got Bruce Castor and the others. They've been advising the district attorney and telling her things like, there's a constitutional right to privacy in this phone number right here. So if any of you want to call the district attorney and say, please stop being corrupt and please stop suing the citizens, that's the number. Now, if it doesn't work, it only means that she got it changed, okay? Because we got hold of this number under the right to know law. It is a government-provided phone number. Now, when you look at our website, and you have to read this other email that the district attorney sent to the county administrator last December, she's basically saying things like, this phone right here, this government cell phone, is kind of private. You see, when she gives money to pay for it, the county provides it at taxpayer expense, and then I guess she's been saying stuff like, well, the forfeiture money from drug dealers, that's used to reimburse the county, so therefore everything about the phone is secret. She gets drug dealer money, gives it to the county and says that's paying for the phone, so therefore the phone's secret? Like, is she kidding me? Anyway, so she sent that email to Mr. Boyd. You can read that one on our website. But at the end of the day, this whole idea that you can sue citizens and sue organizations for making public records requests is so egregious, so outrageous, that we had to get involved. We find ourselves getting involved with that lot. Her lawyers, Castor and the gang, they filed a lawsuit against these other citizens, and they didn't just sue the citizens, they sued, and I don't make this up, it's in the lawsuit, John Doe. John Doe's 1 to 5 unidentified people got sued in District Attorney Parks Miller's lawsuit. She doesn't know who they are, but she's demanding that her legal fees be paid. This lot need their legal fees paid by John Doe, according to the District Attorney. Well, we hope she finds him. We hope she finds him, because I'm sure Mrs. Doe is stressing out right now that the District Attorney is after her husband. We don't think Stacey Parks Miller should be suing John Doe. We think if she wants to sue anyone, she should come sue us. Look, we posted all this information on the web. All she has to do, we're not Centre County residents, all she has to do is come to Bucks County, take her Teletubby events, her road show, the Tubbies on the road, Tubby tour time, to Bucks County, file suit against us and say we want to control that organization's website. We look forward to that, we really do. In the meantime, we're assuming that all these goofy lawsuits that her Tubbies have been filing will get dismissed as moot, because the stuff's already on the web. So we're sorry, Centre County citizens and taxpayers, that your district attorney is wasting taxpayer time and resources, wasting judicial resources, filing lawsuits about stuff on our website. Anyway, feel free to give her a call, tell her what you think, and don't forget to share this video with all your friends and neighbors in Centre County.
Well, that's one bit of what revolution looks like and sounds like. Thank you.
Yep.
corrupted officials that feel like they can pretty much get away with anything, and suing the citizens, you know, and all of this. It's really something. All of this corruption was brought forth by somebody who, at the very least, has had a ton of influence from Anonymous. Now, how many of you have heard about, heard things like Anonymous is a bunch of terrorists or something like that? Anonymous is it's a rogue group of hellion terrorist troublemakers or whatever. I have a couple things that are going to force you into either consideration or cognitive dissonance. So let's take a look and a listen.
Coral Police Department, expect us.
We begin tonight with a threat to the Cape Coral Police Department. A group claiming to be a well-known hacker organization released YouTube videos saying they broke into the department's server.
Now they're threatening to release very sensitive information. NBC2's Ty Russell has uncovered what these hackers say is their motive. He's live in our control room.
Yeah, Peter and Lisa, this group claims to be seeking justice for a Cape Coral man arrested last June. The group says the officers who took him into custody were brutal, and this group claims to be willing to do whatever it takes to get those officers fired.
This is no joke. The only joke is your security.
The masked man in the YouTube video gets right to the point.
Chief Bart Connolly, do the right thing for your city and take these officers' badges and guns.
The group wants the
You realize, he's saying do the right thing. Do the right thing. That's what he's imploring him to do. He's not saying, anything else. This is a consistent message from Anonymous. Do the right thing.
Officers who arrested Travis Roby fired. Roby was taken into custody last June. Screams could be heard in this cell phone video during the arrest that started as a suspicious vehicle call. Last week, Roby struck a plea deal, so the state dropped the harsher charges. The group Anonymous believes Roby was forced to cave in, so now they're out for revenge.
You should really keep a tighter security of your server data. We suggest you heed our warning.
The city denies anybody hacking the server, but the group has released dozens of names of department leaders and officers, and they've threatened to release more. They say they've uncovered sensitive information like addresses of officers and their phone numbers.
It's just wrong.
Nathan DeMoff is the founder of South Florida Cop Block. He doesn't agree with how officers handled the Roby arrest either, but he's taking a different route tomorrow to express his concerns.
20 to 40 people are going to be protesting on a street corner.
So they took him out of context twice. He was saying it's wrong, but he was saying it's wrong what they were doing to that kid. They put it in the context that they wanted. So then they start, they let him say another sentence, but, it's out of context.
Now, we are working to get a response from the police department and the union. We're also waiting to hear back from a member of the group Anonymous. As for that protest tomorrow, it'll be in the Cape at Del Prado Boulevard and Pine Island, and that'll be at 10 in the morning. And another group will be rallying in support of officers in Fort Myers at 3 in the afternoon on Daniels Parkway and 41. Live in the control room, Ty Russell, NBC2.
Okay, so they got into the computer system so that they could try to reveal what was right, and try to get the police to do the right thing, and it wasn't for any other reason, So that's through the voice of media, right? That's what they are telling you. Let me see here. Some of the shout outs for the different people that are doing work under the Anonymous banner is Rick Brewster over at the Awakened Cincinnatians and the masks that he puts together. He also works with C and N masks. And actually, here, let me turn this back on. So these are artists, right? People don't think of artists as anything, more than people that either paint or draw or sculpt. Fact is artists are always the first revolutionaries. They're always the first ones to push the buttons of society and say something is wrong here, look at the status quo. And they do it through all different mediums. And if somebody wanted to don the mask and somebody else thought they were a terrorist, this is a mask that's being worked. It's a collaborative effort. Only the second time they've done a collaborative effort. And if they were a terrorist or they didn't love the United States of America,
You can touch it. Like the bottom chin, you can touch it.
why would they want this mask? And it's not done yet. It's still a work of art, or a work in progress for a work of art. There's the calligraphy pen, and then We the People, and you can't tell it because it looks white on there. It's not actually white. It's the old parchment color, and all of this is going to have the words from the Constitution. So this is all done by hand, freehand, right? And look at, my camera is horrible, so it's not giving you the best detail, obviously. You see this thing in person, and it's a whole nother story. And the deal is with CNN masks is you call and you order, whatever it is you want. You actually talk with the artist either through chat or whatever. And you tell them what you want, and you work it out with them. And then you work out a price, and then you have to verify the price once it's done, because they're going to show it to you and say, hey, yours is done, here's a picture of it. They send it to you. Do you still want it? Do you still want it at that price? And boom, there you go. So, and we have a lot more that I can show you guys. All of this is influenced by Anonymous. All of this, every single bit of it, all of the, these artists working together in a collaborative effort, whether it's C and N masks or the Awakened Cincinnatians, everybody is donning that Guy Fawkes mask. Everybody is using the anonymous mask, in one way or another, and it's being used in militias. It's being used in the sovereign community. Everyone coming together. Okay, I'm a sovereign. Okay, great. I'm anonymous. Okay, great. And then they start working together, and that's exactly what's been happening here. Another Anon member wrote this. So I have an idea. We are holding an online global unity challenge, but why not take it a step further and take it offline as well? I challenge everyone to a monthly food or cash and or clothing donation drive. Whether it goes to food banks, churches, shelters, something online, whatever. What better way to unite and give others hope? When we say we are one, then we need to take care of each other, because we are one. Only way to unite is to give our love and time or anything possible. We will continue to grow by giving. Even if it's only one thing, then so be it. And for anyone that says, I can't, I'm not buying it. Yes, you can. We want love, peace, freedom, and to live. The only way to get it is to give. I'm calling all Anonymous and Tool family. Love you very much. We are one. And there's a common theme here. There's a common theme that is being struck and addressed here. And it is, do the right thing. Implore others to do the right thing. She's talking directly and very bravely about love, and people don't like to hear that for whatever reason. Oh, I don't want to hear about that. It's blah, 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 blah. But she put it out on a public status for everyone to see. So this is who Anonymous is. These are the members, these are the people. These are their voices. This is what, you know, they look like and sound like, and it's through their lips, their words. So what I want to show you now is kind of more of a finished product of, and maybe not totally finished, but maybe you know, what can be done. You know, what some people have chosen after being influenced directly or indirectly by Anonymous. This website is called The Big Plantation. These guys work out of Pennsylvania. They've been doing this for many years, trying to wake more and more people up, trying to get more and more people together, trying to get more people to understand our situation. They have their own radio network, and here's show archives. Boom, 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 boom. Look at all this, right? The different hosts, but they also have a ton of archived information and huge resources of information, years and years and years worth of information for you to look up, for you to check out. It doesn't end, it doesn't stop, and this is how these guys have been motivated. You know, the Big Plantation, or fprnradio.com. They're just, you know, this is one group that's been influenced by Anonymous, but let's check out another one. The Fifth Column, right? These guys are alternative media. Israeli officers cleared in killing of Palestinian. Cameron stands by Israel. Israeli soldiers admit just blasting things away in Gaza. You know? These are good articles. They're sound. And there is a huge network here. And very talented writers. You know, these aren't terrorists. These people are also artists in their own right. So let's look at another one. The aforementioned Awakened Cincinnatians. Right? March Against Monsanto. For those of you who aren't aware, Monsanto has made sure that we have genetically modified everything. So they have all kinds of the masks that he does. Boom. He's got that specific style, you know. I don't know what you would call that, broken glass or whatever, but yeah. So these masks are my artwork. I started making these masks for local Cincinnati activists, and it grew from there. Now major activists and journalists all across the country wear these masks. They are all hand-drawn and sprayed with a sealer so they won't smear. People wear them to protect or keep them as artwork. For $80, you pick 3 colors with black as a primary color. All masks get an Anarchy A and a peace symbol. Kind of my trademark. A portion of all sales will go to the activist group Awaken Cincinnatians for their Op Helping Hands events. And this is where they feed homeless. Their last event, I think they gave out 82 pizzas to homeless folks. So this is yet another thing. These are the actions, these are the works that have been put forth. Okay, when you hear about Anonymous as an idea, it's not so much just an idea, right? It's an idea that motivates. It's an idea that draws people forth. And this is, whether it's alternative media, whether it's the masks that journalists and alternative media are all wearing or putting up as artwork. It doesn't matter who it is, painters, artists of all kind, everybody, you know, has been influenced by it one way or another, or they're directly part of it. And this is the product of that. This is what's been produced. You know, all of these different resources, the big plantation, you go to their site, you can look up, documents and videos from years and years ago. You know, interviews that, like big time interviews that they've had with Ron Paul and just everybody, really. You know, incredible resources of information here available for all of us. So this is, you know, the first half of the show. It's the inspiration of Anonymous and what has been its effect. If you say it's so great, if you say that it's all-encompassing, you know, then show me. Well, there you go. It's men, it's women, it's young, it's old. It's people with all different kinds of ideals that are accomplishing all different kinds of unity with all different kinds of people, all different kinds of groups. You know, that's what Anonymous is, by its own admission here as well. You know, all these different groups, all these different parts, you know, all this influence that's been given by this one ideal has started and empowered all of these people, whether it was the journalist we were listening to earlier who was giving out Stacey Parks Miller's number, you know, again, giving a big FU to the establishment, saying, listen, you know, you're not going to walk all over people. You're not, you know. Everyone. They know that if the offense is egregious enough and Anonymous catches wind of it, they've got your back. They're not going to allow you to fall unjust. They're not going to let you be taken out, and that empowers people. You know, they're not going to let you be taken out and it go unnoticed and without people trying to do something about it to regain your freedom. You know? We're still fighting and trying to build more awareness to Lotus Justice, who's been locked up in Ohio here. And that whole case is just fraud. It's crazy, too. You know, she gets pulled over. She was targeted. They know who she is. They know she's a sovereign. They target her. They pull her over. They know that she doesn't have a license because she doesn't believe she has to have a license to travel freely as our rights have been dictated to us. So she gets pulled over. They give her a ticket. She doesn't show up for court. They file a warrant. They come in with a SWAT team and, you know, bash the door down and all this mess. And, you know, they violate her rights. They take her to court. They assault her, say that she assaulted the cops, as we've seen everywhere. Tyler Paxson video yesterday, and thank you everyone for sharing that, by the way. Thank you to everyone that's gotten that video out. It's been really helpful. We really appreciate all of the attention that we can get it. And somebody said there's been more than one media outlet picking it up now too, so you know that's gonna happen, and that's fine. I mean, that just shows you how powerful our network is. So I'll bring you guys those copies. I'll post them on my Facebook for you guys to see. So anyway, that's the first half of the show. Second half is we're going to talk about revolutionary tactics. In large part, this conversation will probably be illegal. You probably can't discuss stuff like this. I can't imagine that our government would want a public forum discussion based on effective revolutionary tactics, but I say we're free and I say we can do it anyway, so we'll do that right after the break here. Appreciate you being here. Oh, by the way, enjoy this this song. Just to remind you, this is called 8-Bit Killer, and it's a gamer song, so check this out. This is SNS Crew.
Mr. Pack, I launch another missile track. The master and commander is a spark, another swisher back. A monster in the back, attacking, conquering. In fact, I'm conjuring tactical goblins. I'm hunting project stacks, popping them like Crash fucking Bandicoot. But I'm not a bandit, dude. Cooper cannon shoot, damn the loot. I'm here to damage you. Metroid Prime just like I'm Samus. Amateurs get painted like they canvas, and I'll eat you like a sandwich. Maximum the pain, but no games, cause I ain't playing. You left for dead just saying I'll be aiming at your cranium. Punch out Tyson swaying, no Iron Man titanium. Breathing fire, man, I'm spiral flying through your home retirement. Riding with contraband like Contra. 18 van filled with ganja, Fantasy Star Saga. Sonic Springs, I launch it through some chronic rings of smoke. I gotcha, hops a obstacle to the top, boss imposter. Whether it's Godzilla, Gorilla, or Hitman Killers, my finger is on the trigger, increasing the score ticker. Feather shoes be more quicker, relevant scripture. Stomp the horns, crunch your 8-bit to a 4 before you bigger, quicker. Grab some liquor, pixelated, twisted, Mr. My transistor, picture, fist of fury, barely Mr. History is listed, hindered from the missions of a sick where y'all can barely see me like Magoo, you got a shit score. I am top 10 villain, Dr. Robotnik. Spock is on the turntable, shockingly rocking it. Knocking out competitors while you just bust a move. While I'm stacking on these bars like Tetris flexing, I'm so smooth. You know I'm taking out your Kuso. Ruby Malone, wet him jetted, not a threat to be had with the chrome. Not upsetted, redemption's red-deaded, indebted, no more credit when the prototype's embedded in your bones. I'm always crafty, minds by that I mean explosives. So it's not a rhyme scheme, borrowed of my motives. Time be reminding me to find the golden tokens. Greedy little me, yes, assassins is my creed. I am the baddest company per rapper, rapping classically. Button mashing, mad and dashing means nobody's catching me. This is where you fight for life like dying light at night. I'm frightful, it's got you stressed, yo, but not as sick as Zombie XO. The bigger the vest, but trigger the head, you figure the rest is helpful. Hit with the shiver, the literal killer ability, still with the skills to melt you. So bow down to Zod, Haran, and thoughts of zombies gone. The herbicide, I'm on, will calm the ninjas on your lawn. Now open up your eyes and see the evil within. Angels and demons and sin, the darkness leaves you condemned. Had enough yet? So fast on the clutch of my overdrive sunset. Master of puppets, not a naughty bear, but it even clears upset. It's the success of a starship trooper, roughneck, back to the future. Loop with suspect number numerals, get fact at bitch in 8-bit world. But I got this pixel perfect, gross up blemish with neck, make you 12 monster, I'll roar your dinosaur. So blow another bong and sing along just like you know me, till I pop out of the shadow, cut you short just like Shinobi. Lay the smackdown on your ass until you tapping out jabroni. Ain't no phony, always game at home, I make come Mr. Lonely. Pack a Tecmo Bowl, now Ralph a bowl. Dismount you skepticals, I'll joust you off your ostrich. I'm just awesome, I'm impeccable, except I've lost my sentiments. The crest from Zelda Centerfold in the case of Elder Scrolls. Go ahead and raise the black flag like you able, or go back and take the right path like Fable. This nuisance revolutionist is about to turn the table, so don't mess with weed like Nintendo, I'll have to cut the cable. Step back or get hacked into a dark sector. Twisted metal, shoot a missile through a wall. Spectre, I got my word and I'm made of balls. Vector, every console I'm an achievement collector.
I have no idea how somebody fits that many words into such a small, tiny space. But S&S Crew does it, so... Alright, check this out. How to control a nation, distract, deceive, divide. It's important to see this, it's important to consider this, because coming up with our own methodology and our own methods makes more sense when we realize how many different types of methods are being used against us, and have been used against us for quite some time. This is important to consider. If it's much like, the first part of solving a problem is realizing there is one. So realizing, what it is that's being used against us and how. This becomes important because we can also use these same things. This is why I stress paper. Before there's ever an event, you always go out first and saturate as much as you can that neighborhood that you're going to have the event in with flyers. This is, a way to build up the people that are going to be there in the community, obviously. So, paper is an incredible weapon. TV is an incredible weapon. Let's just take one part of it. The movie culture, right? If there's a movie that goes down and you haven't seen it and you're standing in a group of people and you're like, I haven't seen that movie, commonly you can get the reaction of, oh, are you serious? And stuff like that. Oh, that's sacrilege. You have to see that movie. Da 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 da. But then those are the same people that will laugh and tell you they don't use movies against us. Think about that. Think about an incredible polarizing effect to the point where it's being used against you and you have no idea, and you'll defend it in your ignorance. And a lot of that is what happens. So it's a big distraction. This is where they get you arguing about race. This is where they get you arguing about religion, sex, marriage, blah, 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 right? But that doesn't entirely work, and it won't work in an honest system. So you have to have the deception. You can't do this and have an honest system. It won't work. So there has to be lies. People have to be disingenuous. People have to be deceiving. So know that you are being lied to. Understand that. When you watch the news, go from Fox, CNN, and MSNBC. Give yourself, 10 minutes on each, something like that. And look at it, at each 10-minute segment from the perspective of, I need to know what my enemy is doing. I need to know what is the next bullshit propaganda that my enemy is going to try to use against me, and then we can start to combat that. So that makes absolute sense. Deception runs hand in hand with an information war, which is exactly what we've been in the middle of for a long time, and kind of just now realizing it in the last few years. Finally, dividing, and it shows Democrat and Republican. This has worked for a really long time. It's been really effective. It has probably killed as many people as mosquitoes, and a lot less people are buying into it today. What you hear is many people saying, Democrats and Republican, they're, two heads on the same snake, two parts of the same whole. And I'm one of those people. I believe that's absolutely the case. I do not buy into any party line bullshit. I'm not, not in their gangs. So, methodology. Consider the methodology, right? That consideration forces you either into a place of cognitive dissonance to say, no, that's not happening, while you're watching your country circle the drain, but yet you don't have an explanation, unless it's based solely on race, party line, and that narrow-mindedness has never accomplished anything. Remember, the man that changed the world was the one that believed he could. It's a powerful, powerful thought. So, other methodologies include not just paper, but for our current day, and something that is incredibly effective for us is being able to not just utilize the internet the way that we do, but being able to take paper flyers and put them in government buildings, right? Go to the police station, go to the sheriff's department, go to the police headquarters and pass out flyers. And, one might be different from another, but if you're going to a sheriff's, or a police station or something like this, give them copies of the United States Constitution and then tell them, we're people, all right? We're not your enemy. We never were. You're not ours. We're not animals, We're mothers and fathers, sons and daughters. And it's time that we come together, and you actually have rules as a police officer that say you can't even freaking talk to me. And you want to tell me we're not under tyranny? You want to tell me that everything's fine? No, we need to have a conversation. We need to sit down, we need to talk. Open up this dialogue. A lot of us are anti-cop. I get that, I understand. But you need to understand that we are all sharing the same space. We are all sharing the exact same space. White, black, woman, man, mother, father, it doesn't matter. We're all sharing the exact same space in the exact same cities, states, and nation. We have to rise above and look at what our goal needs to be, right? Do you want your country back? Do you want to live under this ruling class? That's what it comes down to. That's it. Anything else is a distraction. We need precision focus now more than ever. So it has to be on, are you willing to really express the true heart of where our freedoms lie, which it truly is in giving people the dignity of choices that we think are dumbasses. People that we think are stupid for believing in what they believe, but never once raising our voice at them for it, because especially right now, we really, really need to get our country back. That's the most important thing. That's paramount. Let's put blue-collar working folks whose backs are killing them in office. I bet you shit'll change. I bet you. Let's get some women who have been poor and homeless and drug addicted. Let's put them in a couple of seats. Why not? That's an accurate representation of our nation. Not the Ivy League nitwits that couldn't give a fuck about any of us or anyone we care about. So we need the information. We need the information. Going into this information war, you start to realize what is an appropriate level of paranoia. And what you find out is that everybody gets to decide that for themselves. You know, if you're like, look, man, there are English royals that are raping babies and selling body parts. I am freaking tapping out and I'm done. I don't think a lot of people would blame you. You know what? Those are some evil, Satan-worshipping, baby killers, and I get it. You know what I mean? I understand. And that's just an example of one conversation that could take place. For the rest of us that really feel like we may be out of time, it's important to discuss these methods, and it's important to discuss them in a very frank manner. We don't have to be blunt and rude, things like that. No reason to be crude, but we do need to be frank. We need to be very direct and to the point. And Ferguson, Missouri. When the protesters had the police station blocked, then there were shots that were fired into the firehouse, and the police then protected that. Then there were buildings that were set on fire in different places that, you'd have to send a truck here, and you're really going to limit resources. You're really going to spread people out. The firemen didn't move. What does that tell you strategically? Right? If that was planned, it was genius. Because they really could have burnt down the entire damn city, and it looked like the cops were going to sit right there and protect the cop station and the firehouse. I think a lot of places would react that way. We really need to think about things from a military aspect. I don't expect all of us to turn into 24/7 soldiers and a bunch of jarheads, but I can tell you right now that if our civilian asses don't start to understand some of the most basic things, right? When you see the police and they have their shields and they're taking their little nightsticks and they're like, dish, 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 and they're all doing that in unison, and listen, they've been doing that since the Romans. They've been doing that. I bet you there were Indians. I bet you there were Aboriginal Australian people that had like sticks and they were like, ka-chish, ka-chish, ka-chish. I bet you. You know what I mean? This is a war tactic. It's not a policing strategy. It's not a policing tactic. It's been used in war. It's for war. The Greeks did it. The Romans did it. Everybody has done that. I mean, and now they're jackbooting at the same time, lifting one leg. Oof, oof, oof. Okay, fine, motherfuckers. You want to sit there and act like it's a bunch of, it's cool, 2015, let's be a bunch of goddamn Nazis. All right, civilians, this is what I say. If you're a protester, we can use the anonymous platform in large capacity to start making videos and teaching protesters, listen, when you guys are getting up to the protest spot, if you're looking at a line of cops, you need to know how to get in line. You need to know how to have your own formation. You need people there with drums, just like what they had in Baltimore, right? You need your own war drums. You need everybody in unison. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. It's not. But just that showing, this is a game changer for us, okay? You want to show some headlines, you want to show some strength. You think other ralliers and other protesters around the nation and possibly around the world, because they're all watching us right now, everybody's kind of on pins and needles. I don't know if you guys know that, but you're on the internet, so talk to some folks around the world, and everyone's sitting a little bit uneasy, wondering what in the hell's going to happen next in the United States. Everybody feels like the United States is tearing itself apart right now. Americans especially. To some level, we are accustomed to this violence. We don't like it. We're just accustomed to it. The methods that we need to start to implement, because we have a network in place now that's able to communicate from California to New York to Florida to Texas to Georgia to everywhere. Fargo. We can hit up everybody now. And we can reach an entire nation of activists, militia, sovereigns, protesters, ralliers, Everybody. And because we can reach out, we can use the anonymous platform to have videos created that, you know, say, when the police, okay, here's your line, okay? And here's the protesters, that's what the cigarette is. And here's the police line, okay? When the police rush in to get somebody from here, this whole crowd needs to act like a vacuum and suck that guy up. And you've seen this happen. You've seen this happen in states everywhere where they don't want the police to take anybody anymore. This isn't the reason we're going there to protest. It's not to be brutalized and then arrested and then extorted for money, to be victimized. This is bullshit. You know, this isn't the fucking reason we're going to these goddamn rallies and protests. It's not. It's not so that you attention whores can go sit there and beat on citizens who you know aren't going to fight back. You know that, you know, we're not the jackboot thugs with the fucking guns and pepper spray and tear gas and tasers and all of this supposed training and all of this. You know, bullshit. Bullshit. Everybody comes home. Everybody comes home. No more are people arrested. No more. We fight like hell, and we get those people back. And then we let them dissolve into the crowd, and we reform our line. Screw that. What were we taught as kids, right? If somebody puts their hands on you first, if somebody is picking on you, and especially if there's a bully, they're bigger, they're stronger, they're meaner, what were we all told? You whoop their ass. You don't ever let somebody put their hands on you, and you don't put your hands on them first. Well, if these cocksuckers are allowed to commit assault on us, I say we break the shit that touches us. You fucking touch me with a finger, a hand, an arm. If any of that shit had anything to do with it, I'm going to do my best to break that shit. Name one part of the human body that does not feel pain. You see a police arm coming your way, you punch that son of a bitch. Period, end of story. Defend yourself. Do not be another victim. No, we don't need you to be extorted for any more money. And I say we pull you back. I say we let you go home. I say we let you get there as unscathed as we can possibly get you to get you to that point. That's what I believe. We're fighting for freedom. We're not here to ask for it. You know, this is bullshit. Nobody wants the violence, and did you notice that I said, once they put their hands on us? You know, I think this is a more than appropriate way to react. I think this is called for. I think things are changing, and I think that if we institute these formations and we show that we do have this, look, we're totally capable of it. Did you see Baltimore? Did you see Ferguson? Did you see the marches? Did you see the Congo lines? Did you see the line dancing with 50 freaking people all, yeah, you know what I mean? Everybody in perfect unison. It was a beautiful thing. You know, we can absolutely do this, and it doesn't matter where you are. The revolutionary tactics it's going to take aren't going to be comfortable for everybody, because obviously not everybody's comfortable. But I'm here to tell you, if you don't believe in aggression and you don't believe in violence, why did you send our soldiers off to war? Where were you protesting? Because I didn't see you. I've been out there protesting a while. I've not seen you. Where are the anti-war protesters? So you do believe in aggressive violence, you just don't believe in your own. So now I need you to sell me on the idea of how that even makes sense. If somebody touches you, we were taught this as children, you make sure they stop fucking doing that. If you're a decent human being, it doesn't matter if the son of a bitch is wearing a badge and he's got his fucking friends with him. If they're doing wrong, right's right and wrong's nobody. So, along with this, they're basic things when you protest. Everyone should have a camera, right? Everybody should always have a camera running. Most people use their phones, you know, that's fine. They have great resolution, better than this piece of shit. And, you know, always have a camera running. This protects everybody. This has gotten who in the hell knows how many people out of a ton of trouble. It was the difference between them being able to sleep in their homes, comfortable with their families, and sleeping on a very cold, very hard prison cell. floor, or mattress, I guess, if you want to call it that. So, cameras, you have to look out for each other. I believe Anonymous can bring to the forefront a lot of the different strategies that we can bring to these rallies and protests. Rallies that need drums, tambourines, noisemakers, swimming pool noodles, things that bring attention. You need to be a public spectacle. You need to be an audible spectacle. You need to be visual. You need to be physical. It is time. Okay? Now this is also for the militia. It doesn't matter what people are protesting or rallying over. That's not why you're there as a militia member. You're there because Americans are exercising their rights, and you support that. There you go. Now, I wouldn't recommend the militia going out on some really hot button stuff that can easily cause division, but typically everything does that now. So the most important thing is that the community knows that you exist. And you're not just a bunch of beer swilling, wife beating gun toters, that you're actually their co-workers and neighbors and mothers and fathers, 9 to 5, blue collar working stiffs. So it's time that we get honest with ourselves. This is an incredible methodology that we can use. As a militia, it's important that people know who you are and what you are, and you wear that with as a source of pride. If they say, "Oh, you're a militia, you're racist," you can say, "Actually, I run into this," because that's a stigma we're fighting. No, we're not. We have people in there from every nationality. We're just concerned, about the country. And if you don't think that the country is circling the drain, then I get you, but if you're someone that is concerned with that, then, we are too, and we're not saying we have all the answers, but, we want to be able to defend our families, our communities.
Sorry.
We have a very sensitive alarm, and that's how you know we're cooking. Just like home. I knew dinner was done when the alarm went off. So... And you can't feel bad when it happens, because it happens to everybody. That alarm is freaking sensitive. So she's a pretty good cook. The influence of Anonymous is undeniable. Its platform, its meaning, the words that they say that you've gotten to see and hear today. I mean, these are multitudes of different types of people, and they can tell you on their own terms what it is. For them, and they express it through alternative and independent media. They express it through all of these different means, and they help us to get our videos out. They help us to catch pedophiles. For the very first video I showed, the pedo hunters here in Columbus, Ohio. I keep wanting, I'm going to make a list of bad guys and put it on my bad people and put it on my website. Christopher Ladistansky, you fucking monster. Jeffrey Livingston in Grove City, Ohio. Straight up, I see you, I'll kill you. You know that. And they're in a court of law. I'd go to jury trial for it too, and they'd pull up this video, and I'd still get where, what are you gonna do? I mean, there's a natural law there. You know what I mean? Period. This is how free men and women speak. There are horrible humans that live amongst us, ladies and gentlemen. And they need to be dealt with, and they need to be addressed. Sometimes it's not that comfortable, because most of us are civil people. The fact is we owe all of our comfortability to aggressive violence and its origins. We wouldn't have an Xbox if we never had wars. The founding of the country, it wasn't done through peaceful means. And if any of us could have it through peaceful means, that's exactly what we would have. But have you noticed yet? Have you noticed the common theme that every time there's a fucking rally or a protest or something like that, there's a bunch of asshole cops that show up, and that's when it gets violent? I mean, we don't have problems. We don't have issues. And then the cops show up, and ka-chow, it's a big goddamn issue. Cat's out of the bag. It's out of the bag, and it's fucking up the house. It's tearing everything up. Man, our Anonymous week is almost over. That's crazy. And I've got guests lined up, but we have, if we have to run them over next week, we will, because We had Monday that delayed us again, talking about Baltimore, and it's just crazy keeping up with the news. Mexico had a freaking earthquake, 8.0 today. There's supposedly a volcano erupting in the ocean outside of Oregon. That's bad. Michigan had an earthquake and then aftershocks. That's bad. There's been like a ton. There's like 7 or 8 or 6 volcanoes on the Pacific Rim. All of them that were not erupting started to erupt within 8 days of each other. That's bad. The earth is shaking. And George Carlin even said it. He said, if Mother Earth doesn't want us here, she will shake us off like a bunch of fleas. Whew. And kind of feeling like a flea, you know? So, I don't know, man. Don't know how much time we have. We're going to fight like hell while we do have time. And in the meantime, go love something. All electrified bags of flesh need love. All the electrified bags of water. I recommend Grateful Dead, Eyes of the World. Check that one out. Alright, that's all we have today, man. That is all that I have. I'm going to play video. No. Yeah. My daughter's going to live stream her events and her gaming. So, if you want to check out a 12-year-old gaming prodigy, you can go to Rebecca Games. Is that on YouTube?
Yes, sir.
On YouTube. Rebecca Games on YouTube. Check her out. She knows her stuff. So,
Rebecca Games.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, man. Go love something. Take it easy, guys.